This is Beth with Chic Crochet, and today I'm going to show you how to make a set of bunny ears. In case you have a project in need of some bunny ears, I'm going to show you how to make them today. And my bunny ears measure about 4.5 inches by almost 2.5 inches at their widest point. And I have made them out of acrylic worsted weight yarn. I love this yarn at Hobby Lobby, and I'm using a 5mm hook. You need a pair of scissors and a stitch marker. So let's get started. Let's begin with a magic ring. So take your yarn, turn your hand face up, put your yarn across the first 2 fingers, cross over, flip over, go across your 3rd finger with your hook down, go under the first piece of yarn, pick up the 2nd piece, twist, and then come over to your 3rd finger, grab that thread and pull it through and release. Your tail should be hanging down like this, and that is your magic ring. Now let's make 6 single crochets into the magic ring. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now pull your ring closed as tight as you can get. Leave this tail long because your ring may work loose as we go, and you may have to tighten it again before we end the project. Now we're going to make a single crochet back into our first stitch. That first one will be a little tight, so it's going to need some maneuvering to get it in there. And once you've made that first stitch, go ahead and place your stitch marker into that stitch. When you're working in the round, stitch markers are definitely your friend. And in the next stitch, we're going to increase. So that's going to be 2 single crochets into the 2nd stitch. And we're going to alternate that all the way around. So you're going to have 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, all the way to the end. So the next stitch is getting 1 single crochet. The next one is an increase, so it gets 2. The next one is 1 single crochet. And the last stitch gets 2 single crochets, and you should have 9 stitches by the time you're finished. And let me say, when you're making amigurumi, you generally use a smaller hook. I generally use a size 3, even with a size 4 worsted weight yarn. But in this case, these ears are not meant to be stuffed, so I use the larger hook. Since we are stuffing, the holes are just not going to show that badly. And for the projects I would use these ears for, it's not going to require stuffing, so that's why I use a larger hook size. Now, remove your stitch marker and place 1 single crochet into the next stitch, which will be the first stitch of our 3rd round. And put your stitch marker back into that stitch. And we are just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around, and at the end of this round, we will have another 9 stitches. And that concludes round 3. Now for round 4, again, remove your stitch marker and put your first single crochet into that next stitch. And replace your stitch marker. By now, your edges are probably curling, So you can go ahead and flip that right side out. It might make it a little easier for you to find your stitches around the edge. And on round 4, we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase, and we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So I've already done my first single crochet, and now the second one is going to go into the next stitch. And now we're going to do an increase, so 2 single crochet into the third stitch, and we're going to do that all the way around. And when I'm increasing, I like to count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, because 2 stitches are going to go into that third one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I keep track of what I'm doing and I don't lose count. So I've already done 1, 2, 3, 4 into the last stitch, and now I'm going to start that sequence again with 1, 2, 3, 4 into this third stitch. And now I'm going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's my third, and there's my fourth one. So now I should have 12 stitches in this round. So at the end of round 4, you should have 12 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remove your stitch marker. Put the first stitch into the next row, which will be round 5. So there's my first stitch. Replace the stitch marker. And this round is going to be a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to do 3 single crochets into each individual stitch, and then the 4th and 5th stitch will go both in to here, which is the 4th. It's going to be a sequence of 3 single crochet and 1 increase. So we've done the first single crochet, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll go into this next stitch. Now I'm going to start that sequence again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do that sequence one more time. All of these sequences are going to repeat 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the last stitch. And now you should have 15 stitches in this round at the end of round 5. Take out your stitch marker, do the first stitch of round 6, replace your stitch marker. This sequence in round 6 is going to be 4 single crochet and an increase. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll repeat that 3 times. So there's my first one, that's 1. I've already made and replaced my stitch marker. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is going to go into this next stitch. There's 5 and 6. Now I'm going to start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I apologize for the background noise. If you are hearing it, I'm literally just a few feet away from the ocean and the wind is howling today, so it's kind of loud. I'll try to reduce that noise, but I'm not sure if you're going to be able to hear it. I hope it's not annoying. Okay, so let's go into the first stitch of the next round. So that's going to be round 7. And in round 7, we're just going to do 1 single crochet all the way around. So at the end of round 6, we had 18 stitches, and round 7 is going to be 1 stitch in each stitch. So we will have 18 single crochets at the end of this round. And since there's nothing complicated, no increases, I will meet you at the end of this round. And that concludes the end of round 7. Remove your stitch marker, put the first stitch in round 8, replace the stitch marker, and for round 8, we are going to do 5 single crochet and an increase. So it's going to be a sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we'll do that 3 times. So I've done my first stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go both into this next stitch. 6 and 7. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7, both into the same stitch. There's 6 and there's 7. Do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And at the end of this round, you should have 21 stitches. So that concludes round 8. Take out your stitch marker, do the first stitch of round 9, replace your stitch marker, and this is going to be just 1 stitch all the way around. So we finished with 21 stitches in round 8, and at the end of round 9 you will also have 21 stitches. So I will meet you at the end of round 9. We are at the end of round 9. Remove your stitch marker. Do the first stitch of round 10. Replace your stitch marker, and this is going to be the same as row 9. We're just going to do 1 stitch all the way around. So at the end of round 10, you will have another 21 stitches. So I will meet you at the end of round 10. We are at the end of round 10, so you should have 21 stitches. Remove your stitch marker. Make the first stitch of round 11 and replace your stitch marker. In round 11, we are going to have 6 single crochets and then an increase. So we are going to increase to 24 stitches at the end of this round. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the first stitch I have already. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7 and 8 will both go into the next stitch. 7, 8. And we're going to repeat that sequence 2 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 will both go into the next stitch. There's 7 and there's 8. And do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will go into this next stitch. There's 7 and there's 8. And now we should have a total of 24 stitches at the end of that round. That was the end of round 11, and you should have finished with 24 stitches. Round 12, 13, and 14, all 3 of those rounds will have 1 single crochet in each stitch. So this round has 24. The next 3 rounds will also have 24 stitches. So I will meet you at the end of round 14. So you're going to do round 12, 13, and 14, each with 1 single crochet in each stitch, and I will meet you at the end of round 14. See you in a bit. And that concludes round 14. Now we're going to begin round 15. So put a single crochet into your next stitch and replace your stitch marker. And for round 15, this begins our decrease rows. So these are going to be a little different. We are going to single crochet 10 times and then do a decrease, and then we will do that sequence 2 times. That was our first single crochet I've already done. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to decrease. And to do an invisible decrease, you're going to take your hook, go into the front loop of the next stitch, then twist around, go into the front loop of the next stitch, and yarn over. So you should have 4 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull under 2, yarn over, pull under 2. That's how you do a decrease. Now we're going to single crochet 10 more times, and then there will be 1 decrease left to do at the end of this round. That's my 6th stitch. 7, 8, 9, 10, and I should have 2 stitches left, and I do. So I'm going to go into the front loop of the next stitch, keep that on my hook, go into the front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's my last decrease. So the increases are sequins of 3, the decreases are going to be sequences of 2. Remove my stitch marker. And at the end of round 15 that we just did, you should have now 22 stitches. And place your single crochet into the next stitch, which will be the first stitch of the 16th round. Replace your stitch marker. And on round 16, we're going to do 9 single crochet and 1 decrease. I've already done my first stitch, so that was stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10 and 11 will be scooped up into this invisible decrease. So I'm going to grab that first loop, grab the next loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's do that again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 will be our invisible decrease. Grab the front loop of that next stitch, front loop of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that is the end of round 16. Take out your stitch marker. You might want to count your stitches if you need to. You should have 20 stitches at the end of that round. I'm going to go ahead and put my single crochet into the next stitch, which will be the first stitch of round 17. Replace your stitch marker. Round 17 is going to be a sequence of 8 single crochet and then a decrease, and we're going to do that sequence 2 times. I've already done my first stitch, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then stitches 9 and 10 will be the decrease. Get the front loop of the next stitch, front loop of the next stitch, and yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Do 8 more single crochet in the following stitches. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The last 2 stitches are going to be a decrease. Grab that loop, go to the next one, grab that front loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That's the end of round 17. And now you should have 18 stitches, and round 18 is going to be 18 stitches. So we're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around for round 18. Make your first stitch of round 18. Replace your stitch marker. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And that's the end of round 18. Your rounds will start going faster as we do these decrease rows because we're getting fewer and fewer stitches in each round. So make the first stitch of your next round and replace your stitch marker. Round 19 is going to be a decrease row. So we're going to single crochet 7 and then 1 decrease, and we'll do that twice. So there was our first stitch, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab the front loop of the next stitch and the front loop of the one after that, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and do 7 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Grab the front loop of the next stitch, front loop of the one after that, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's our last decrease. And now you should have 16 stitches. In rounds 20 and 21, we are just going to single crochet all the way around, and you will end up with 16 stitches in each of those rows. So let's do those 2 rounds now, and I will meet you at the end of row 21. I'm at the end of round 21 and we're going to do row 22, and we are almost finished. So we are going to do 6 single crochet and a decrease, and we'll repeat that sequence 2 times for round 22. So I just did my first stitch. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then stitches 7 and 8 will be a decrease. Grab that front loop of both those 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is a decrease. Put those together. All right, that is the end. 23 is our last round. We're just going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So you should end up with 14 stitches at the end of this last round, round 23. That's the end of round 23, which is our last round, and now we're just going to slip stitch to close, remove your stitch marker, and fold your ear flat. So it should look something like this with your hook on this side of the ear, and then go into the next stitch, go under both stitches and yarn over, pull it through, and pull straight through. It's not going to be a single crochet, it's going to be a slip stitch. And then for the next stitch, you're going to go under both sides. Make sure you have your loop on your hook, and then there should be 4 more loops on your hook because you've gone through both of those stitches. So you should have a total of 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through those 4 loops, and then just slip through that last loop. And you're going to do that all the way across to slip stitch to close. All right, and then the last one may be a little tricky to get into. but you can do it. And then for the last one, I must say, I've just played the most impressive game of yarn chicken I've ever played in my life. This is all I have left. It's the end of this skein I was using, so I just had to say. You need to leave a long tail, so mine is just the right length. I'm pretty stoked about winning this game of yarn chicken, and you're going to use this tail for sewing it onto your project. Or it may be a hot glue situation like I had in my Easter chair topper. I will insert some video on that. That's what I use these ears for. You could use them for a multitude of things. You could put them on a little purse as an Easter gift. Maybe you are learning to make amigurumi and you're learning the basic round shapes, but you're getting stumped on the ears. So here you go. You can use my ear pattern. I hope you enjoy and have many little bunny ears in your future. Bye.
Chic, chic crochet!